Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. I'm Pat Baer. This is my stream where I do Gunpla and Lego and all kinds of model kits and various other things, and we build and chat. I want to thank everybody who's joining me. We're going to wait a couple minutes, see if a few more people will join us in the chat and watch a little bit before we start going. Hello everybody in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber on Twitch, hello Waffles, why don't you throw me a Bear Cave emote? Let me know what's up. I got another one coming pretty soon, an emote for the $10 subscribers. We'll be able to use a new emote that's coming. I mention it every time, but that is on the way. Now's a great time to say, hey, if you're not a subscriber yet, get on board. The sale's over, but you can still spend $5 a month to be a subscriber here and get a custom emote. Hang out with me here in the chat. Also, you could use your Twitch Prime because you have Amazon Prime. You can link those two and you get a free token. You should get Twitch Prime. You don't see ads, like at all, on anyone's streams. It's awesome. Even when they're like, hey, we're taking an ad break for our sponsors, you don't see those ads. It's pretty great. And then you can have ad blocker off for Twitch and support streamers that way. That's just a cool thing you could do. I want to thank you for joining me. I know that with Awesome Games Done Quick this week, various conventions that are happening this weekend. You've got a lot that can draw you away. It's also just a Saturday night in January, and maybe your New Year's resolution was to get out more. So I want to thank you for spending some... Ooh, excuse me, pardon me. Pardon me, I apologize for that. I want to thank you for spending some of your evening here with me. And I burped. I'm thanking you, and then I burped. That's rude. So I apologize for that. I am currently still set up on good evening, Ignorant Spoon. Hello. Hello and welcome. Yeah, so I'm currently still using the setup that I was using on Thursday, which is my desktop. I think I'm going to switch over. It all seems to be pretty good. Waffles is a random link to the past run right now. You got on split screen. That's cool. Yeah, you can always do split screen if you want to like have it on in the background and check in, see what they're doing over there while you're watching me build a Lego kit. Speaking of which, why don't we pop over to our main view here? So this is the Lego Star Wars. Let me get the box. Whoops. There we go. All right, here's the box. This is the Lego TIE Advanced Prototype from Star Wars Rebels. You can see the box there, and also the box is in the corner below me. So this is 355 pieces. Zorbs, thank you so much. Keep up all the great streams. 5 months in a row, Zorbs. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Thank you for continuing to support me here on this silly thing. So yeah, you might remember from my mailbag, I talked about it. This kit was a gift that was given to Coyote, who follows me on Twitter, doesn't really watch these streams, isn't super much into building, and was like, well, this is just going to sit in my closet. Do you want it? And I said, fuck yeah. You wanted to get this one? Oh, Waffles, yeah. It looks very cool. So I have almost no, like, I don't keep up with Star Wars Rebels. I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about the Inquisitor, other than he has a pretty sweet lightsaber. And I'm also going to have a TIE Fighter pilot and an Imperial officer. This looks like a cool kit. I like a good TIE Fighter. I like an advanced TIE Fighter prototype. I think it sounds pretty cool. So I'm excited to work on this kit. I have already knolled the first bag. There are 3 bags in this kit. I knolled the first bag. I've got my decals here, which we will do some decal work. And then I've got, I did the first 3 steps of this, or 4 steps of this, just to kind of get my fingers warmed up a little bit. It's a little cold here in the apartment. We've got my favorite piece, so we're going to get into it. These are my favorite pieces in Lego, these that didn't exist when I was doing Lego as a kid. You can see that better in this camera here. I don't know why I really like these pieces, but I 100% do. All right, so we're going to put those here, and then that connects to that, and we'll do it like that. So I'm going to be following the steps here. I'll do, as much as I can. I'll talk as much as I can about the steps, but As with most Lego sets, especially ones in the 200 to 400 piece range, it's pretty self-explanatory. There are not a lot of like tricks to it. It's just like make sure you have the right color, make sure you have the right piece, and you get a few extras of some of them, which is awesome. I love having extras. So we need a gray one that clips. And a lot of it's just knolling and then finding the pieces that you knolled and making sure. The biggest problem for me when it comes to these Lego sets. The major thing, I'll answer that question in a second, Zorbs. So the major thing for me is that this and this are different colors. Now for you, here in this light, it's pretty obvious. It should be pretty obvious in there. But on paper, depending on the background, sometimes it's not as obvious. So that's why I only do one bag at a time, because it limits the amount of pieces that I'm comparing when it comes to those. So this is the only piece of this that exists like this. So I know that I have the right piece. Zorb, so you asked if I get a new light, table seems brighter. So what I have is I tried a new light like 2 weeks ago, did not like it. A different bulb that I got that was more energy efficient, that was supposed to be more natural, was what they said. And I did not enjoy that light, so now I'm back to the one that I used before. It is, however, because this setup is a little weird because I'm using my desktop, I have everything set up at kind of a weird spot. And then the other thing we have is, so I'm using my desktop, which means that I have my desktop monitor is reflecting light back at me instead of the LCD monitor that I had for my laptop. This is actually bouncing a lot more light back in my face. So I think that's what you're noticing. Yeah, the brown and black can look very similar, which is why, like I said, if I had all 355 pieces out here, I might run into grabbing the wrong color. And in fact, I did that a few times with our Millennium Falcon, which obviously was a huge, big build. Had a lot of similar pieces in different colors. So I definitely run into that. You know, I'm not going to mistake blue, but these two colors gray, I certainly could mess up. All right, we need that one like this. Then one more of the black. There it is. Found it. Great. So that's that. And it just goes. And that just goes in there. Okay. We did that. Great. So yeah, so we're working on our TIE Fighter. I'm excited to work on it. Thank you for joining me this evening. As I said, I've been watching some awesome games done quick. This afternoon there was some Demon Souls stuff that was pretty cool because, or Dark Souls I should say, not Demon Souls. There's Dark Souls, which in theory I really like, but in practice I'm not big on the games, but I actually enjoy watching streams of that game a lot. I think there's a lot to watch people break that game in particular, more so than other games. I think it's pretty cool. So I checked that out quite a bit. And then one of these gray ones. Great. Did it. All right. Yeah, so overall I was pretty impressed with the streams I watched today. I don't know if y'all have been watching any of them. I know on Thursday a few people in the chat were really into it, which was cool to talk to people about what they liked and what they didn't like about it. All right, so then this goes like this. There's a little bit of a light flickering, not light flickering, I should say, reflecting off of this, and it's my lamp and the position here and the paper, this glossy paper. So you can't see it in the camera, but I'm getting a glare that is really annoying. So I might pull this back some. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull this back and build in front of it. That glare has seemed to help a lot. You didn't see it. It didn't look like you could see it, but I was getting quite a bit of glare. All right. So moving right along with this. Waffles we got here. Sure have been. I want to go back and watch this afternoon block. Some good games. Yeah, I've been missing a bunch. And then or I was working when people were streaming stuff that I would be interested in. Like I'm going to miss tomorrow night because I'll be at work. But I'll pay attention to some people that I like and I trust their opinion when they say, oh, this is a cool run. We'll go back and check out the ones that seemed cool because they'll end up on their YouTube. Just like I end up on YouTube. I guess I don't know if everybody knows that. I think most people do. I do mention it enough, but I archive locally on my computer every single episode. I start recording right before I start talking, so it trims down a little bit of the fat, but not too much of the beginning, where it's just like, I started and then I want you to come join me. So I do that, and then it goes to youtube.com/PatBaer, which is my YouTube channel. Um, my YouTube has this as a playlist. It also has 404ing it, which is all my live shows doing 404ing it. Some of which are Twitch archives, some of which are my own recordings that I have paid for or a volunteer has recorded for me and edited. And Yeah, and then I also have 2 episodes of the improvised postmortem. The first one, which I did, which was a video game themed that I did at PAX West, and then one that was comic book themed that I did at UCB Theater, the weekend of New York Comic Con. That one, there's also a link to the audio on my SoundCloud because the video was not great. Someone moved the podium, and so people are out of frame. So it's not the best recording, but the audio is actually really solid because I just recorded right out of the booth and got actually pretty good audio on that. All right, so we need 4 of these and 2 of these. Great. Yeah, so this is I don't know what I'm doing next. We're probably actually going to finish this today. If we don't finish it tonight, we will finish it on Thursday very early, is my assumption. Um, a 300-piece set is not 355-piece set is nothing really. Um, so if we don't finish it tonight, like I said, we'll definitely finish it on Thursday. And I don't know what I'm doing next. I have a couple Lego kits waiting to go, and I have one Gundam model kit waiting to go. Um, so I have options. What I'm most likely going to do is, and of course I'll mention that later, is I have my what do I call it? Oh, I have my Patreon. My $10 backers on Patreon get to vote. So I'll probably put up options and let them vote for what they want to see me build next. That's the $10 a month club. They get the same thing the $5 a month get, which is the archives earlier than everyone else, which is a nice little thing I can do for them. And then also, obviously, like I said, they get to vote on what I do next. And then if you just want to give me like $1, you could. You certainly don't have to. But at Patreon, anyone who gives me even $1 gets a monthly Q&A that I will only have a list for them and never release for anybody else. I'm actually going to film my next one of those pretty soon. Bless you. Hello. Hello and welcome. Thanks for coming in. Thanks to everybody who's here in the chat. I'll say this. Y'all got talkative on Thursday, which is great. Quiet chat, vocal chat. I'm happy with both, but also because like I said, I'm using my desktop now. I have a bigger monitor, so it was like the screen was full of text and it was rad. Like I said, I actually don't mind either. I like it when you're chatting with each other. I love it when you're chatting with each other, not just at me, and then I respond. I like that too. I think that's cool as hell. And then I also, like I said, enjoy when it's just laid back and kind of me talking and people pop in and out. Like I said, not a lot of people watching this evening, which is totally okay. I'm all right with that. I would love to grow this channel. I would love to have more people watching. That is clearly, part of why I'm doing this is so that people watch. But hopefully more people check out. So Bijou, my day was great. This is my day. Saturday is my day where I don't really do anything. I watched some anime. I played some video games. I called my mom and chatted with her for a while. My mom and dad are going to Florida for the month of February, so I wanted to call them and chat with them about that and about other stuff that they've got going on in their life. But it was a really relaxing day, which is good because I go to work tomorrow night, so having a relaxing one now, I was very happy about. All right, and then we just do this, and that goes that, and that goes like that, and then it's one of the things where like I don't really know what this kit is all about, so I assume this is gonna do something cool. I'll put it up here. Oh, it looks so much better. That camera. I gotta clean up this camera here. It's not looking as great. Yeah. I don't know what this does, but I'm interested in finding out. It was a great Saturday. My Saturdays are kind of like other people's Sunday, like right before the weekend ends, since I work Sunday through Wednesday evenings, and then also all the rest of the time. But I'm guaranteed to be working those 2 days. So yeah, I was happy to have kind of a relaxing day. I watched some anime. Obviously, we talked about some anime on Thursday. I'll reiterate. So here's the thing I didn't say before. I'm not going to put up a link to it in the chat, but go to YouTube.com. Look up laid dash back camp. Laid back camp. And there's a dash in between laid and back. Laid back camp. Look up laid back camp. Crunchyroll has the first episode on their YouTube channel, so you can watch the first episode for free. If you don't even have a Crunchyroll account, you can watch it on YouTube. I think if you watch the opening theme, which I put a link to on my Twitter account, I think if you watch the opening theme of that show, you'll get why I'm so into it. There's only 2 episodes so far of Laid Back Camp, but it's a very chill, relaxing show. It's about some young ladies who are going to build some friendships and go camping. And it's just cute and fun and silly. And I really, really I knew I was going to like it because I had seen a little clip of the first episode before it aired. And it's just like, man, it's chill. And there's a corgi. We've seen very little of that corgi. We're going to see more of that corgi. And I can't wait to see more of that cool corgi. But yeah, if you like laid back, kind of like slice of life shows, I don't think there's going to be a lot of drama. I don't think there's going to be a lot of crying in that show. There might be some moments of it, but I think overall it's probably going to be a pretty chill show. Yeah, I don't know. I'm into it. I'm into people's enthusiasm in that show. I love a good show where people are enthusiastic about things and happy about things. I would, yes, Bishu. Kimono Friends. I would. So, it actually reminds me a bit of Anne Happy, which is a show about a school where there's a class that's just for girls that are like unfortunate, like accident prone, or just like like have weird stuff about them to kind of like see if they can figure out how to like work in the real world. It reminds me a bit of that show. That show got kind of supernatural, and I don't think this one is, even though the opening theme does have some like a spaceship thing that's not real. So I think this one's kind of grounded in reality, but I'm excited about it. I think, all right, that's dark gray, right? Dark gray, okay. But yeah, it just looks cool. Because it's also like there's 2 that are like the mysterious girl, and there's like a kind of weird, silly girl wants to be friends with her. The other one is Miss Kazumi loves ramen, which I watched the second episode, and I don't know if I'm going to keep going. The main character's just too mean, and I don't like it, and I don't know. I'm going to give it one more episode because there are a lot of shows. I haven't even watched the new one from the Kill la Kill people. I think that just came out this week, but there's a new. It's like Trigger and A1 Pictures are working on like a bunch of young teens in mech suits, and I think they're in pairs. I forget the name of it. It's like Phasar is in the name. It's like 3 words, but it's the A1 Pictures and Trigger like join forces, and I think it's like pairs of teens in a big mech, so it's a little Pacific Rim-ish, I guess. I'm not really sure, but that seemed like it might be pretty fucking cool. Um, I put that on wrong. Fixed it. I haven't watched that yet, though. Uh, Hello and welcome. No need to apologize for being late. You're not late at all. I do this for an hour and a half. I love it that some people like tune in and watch the whole hour and a half. I think that's awesome. You watch with me. But, pop in and out. And when you're like, oh, I've got other things to do, take off. Like, I'm happy you're joining me. It's awesome that anyone's watching these because I'm still pretty new. I mean, honestly, I've been streaming since, July? That's not that long. Still building up the channel as always. Appreciate that. So yeah, if you've got a Twitch subscription, you could go my way with that. If you've got you want to spend some money there, you're more than welcome to. I've got my Patreon and a bunch of ways to support. I am gonna have to buy more kits pretty soon. So if you ever see anything on my Amazon wish list, I put some new stuff on my Amazon wish list. So. Darling the Franxx with two X's is the anime I'm talking about. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, Darling in the Franxx. That is the show that looked like it might be pretty cool that I have not watched yet, but it seemed cool. I don't know. There's just a bunch of anime. Sanrio Boys. I watched that. That's cool. That is, as I said on Thursday, there's going to be some drama in that. There's gonna be some real drama in that show, but it might be cool. So I'm gonna stick with that one. That one piqued my interest. Oh, and then Overlord. The first episode of Overlord came out. Season 2 introduced a bunch of some new characters. I don't want to call them villains because the main characters are villains. Really, there's some new adversaries that kind of got introduced. So that should be interesting. Wait. Oh. So there should be some interesting things in Overlord. And also Claire, the penguin butler, who was only briefly in the first season, shows up in the first episode. So that was pretty cool. Because that butler doesn't do shit, but I like that penguin butler. He's pretty great. I did add that Yellow Submarine Lego to my wish list. I did, yes. That's very cool looking. I'm not expecting anyone to purchase that because it's pretty pricey, but I put it in there. And then, I put some other Gundam Wing stuff in there. I put a few things. I put some real grades because real grades are cheaper. Some of the real grades are certainly cheaper. They take less time to build than a master grade, obviously. But I know that they are not as expensive, so that might be in someone's price range. I want to... obviously I'm asking people to buy me things for me to make on the stream, and I purchase kits on my own as well, but, if there's ever anything that people think that they would like to see me build, oops, I put these on the wrong spot, and I'm going to hopefully only use of, our separator. I'm going to get this piece up here. Let's see if I can, yes, we did it. This thing is so rad. Oh, I could probably pride that out. My fingernail's a little short, but I probably could have got it. So I put some stuff up in my wish list. I moved some things around in the order. Look, I'm going to tell you this. I'm probably going to buy that Epion. Yes, Teeth. Teeth is certainly a way to go. I'm probably going to buy that Epion from Gundam Wing. Two-headed dragon transforming. It's real good. It's a real good kit. I love the color scheme. Oh, it's beautiful looking. It's a beautiful kit. I think it's going to pop on screen and in photos. So I'm probably just going to buy that goddamn kit myself. But it's there on my wish list. If the next thing I build, because I said I'm going to put it for vote if I'm going to do Lego or a Gundam next. We got to put a decal on. Got our first decal. So if my next kit that I build here on stream is a model kit, then I won't have any I'll need to have one on deck, and that's probably what I'll get. Sorry, I'm just checking my email here. Okay. Got posts. One of the Patreons that I support just sent a message. Okay, so this is the wrong sticker. So I'll say this: these decals, they just have a decal. They didn't number it, so I grabbed the wrong one. That's shitty. Um, like I know there's only a couple. There's like 4 decals on this, but like, come on, tell me to number them. That's not hard. As you know, I am not good with decals or stickers of any kind. This is not perfect, but it's good enough, so I did it. That's it. So I don't like decals. Like when it comes to Gundam, because you need. Look, when it comes to Gundam and Bandai in general, you need X-Acto knife. You need like 2 X-Acto knives, and it's like, oh, these you can actually peel them back off pretty easily if you screw up. And you can kind of get like a corner done. And so when it comes to Lego, I do try to do decals. But I also am totally fine with it not being perfect. I'm okay messing it up. All right, yeah, we're getting through our first bag. Yeah, I'm always afraid of that. Um, I'm always afraid of totally messing up. Um, the decal. But like I said, the nice thing is you can kind of fudge your way back to forgiveness with it. All right. Yeah, I definitely think we're going to finish this today because about a half an hour in, we're almost done with bag 1. So I expect us to finish this kit tonight, which is fine. I'm fine with that. Like I said, Coyote, who follows me on Twitter, and it's wonderful. I'm so thrilled that they sent me this kit because they were never going to build it, and now someone gets to build it, and that's really cool. All right, we'll put that on there. What do we got here? I was close to buying a Gundam kit last week, but I saw a 1/8 Spike Spiegel figure and couldn't say no. I mean, I know I build model kits. I know I spend 3 hours a week building model kits, but I do think you made the right choice. I mean, Spike Spiegel rules. 1/8, that's a great size. Yeah, you made a choice, and I do think it's the right one. I love to know that people are working on kits. He's not in the chat right now, but Johnny Warps, a fantastic person out there, former subscriber, Johnny Warps, who I think is still viewing, but not doing the subscription thing right now, which is okay, fine by me. Johnny Warps built I did a retweet on my Twitter, did a Mega Man kit, and it looked great. Did a Blues/Proto Man that looked rad. Very proud of Johnny for that. Which I should say, if you're ever building anything, anytime, not just now along, because sometimes people build along. If you're ever working on anything, send me a tweet. My Twitter is Pat Baer, just like everything else for my account. Send me a tweet. Let me know what you're working on. I love hearing from folks about what they're building. We got some extra pieces here. So we're done with bag 1. So I'm going to put these pieces in this bag, and then we will get into bag 2. Great. So we're going to null bag 2. I'm going to put the decals aside, put that aside, put that aside, put this aside for now. You can look at that over there because I'm going to get into the second bag. Yeah. So if you're ever working on anything, send me an email. Let me know what you're building. Let me know what you're working on. I love hearing from folks about what they're doing. So if you're ever working on anything, please tell me. I love hearing from you about that, and I always retweet when people send me tweet stuff. You're painting kits. We had somebody who used to follow me here that was doing had a thing where they were making paper look old for maps and stuff, which was rad as hell. That stuff was cool. Okay, so if you've never seen me do Lego before, I am in the knolling process. I opened up bag 2, which I'm going to make sure is empty so that I don't lose any pieces, and I can toss that bag aside. And then I'm just separating by color. I will later kind of separate a little bit by shape, but I won't do too much of that. And then I know that most of my pieces are going to be light gray, dark gray, black, and then I have a few blues and a few whites and a few reds. So I kind of put the red and white and blue together because I know there are not going to be that many of them. So I can kind of put that together. And then I'm putting my minifig pieces here because I'm going to build that first. And I gotta put this aside because I know I'm gonna. So yeah, so right now I'm just kind of separating by color, putting things where they go, and then I will kind of get into the weeds of building soon. Cute Kids got you a snow speeder from Bandai. Gonna start soon. That's awesome, Zorbs. Um, I uh, I apologize, Zorbs. I know you won this thing at Christmas time. I still have not mailed out your kits that you won. I will be sending those out on Monday. I partially blame the snowstorm, and then I was gonna go to the post office yesterday, and my post office was not open. It not for a holiday. It just wasn't open. I don't know why. Wait, I should actually find out. Postal holidays. Oh, I'm not going to the post office on Monday. I'm going to the post office on Tuesday. That makes sense. Zorbs, I'm not going to the post office on Monday because it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which is, I guess, why I got paid on Friday, because I got paid on the 15th and I got paid on Friday instead. Now that I think about it, that's why, because it's a banking holiday as well. So, Zorbs, on Tuesday, I'm going to go to the post office because I have to go to a real post office because I'm sending it, obviously, to Canada. Zorbs is in Canada. Oh, sorry, I missed one. Bless you. My wife and I had lots of fun putting together that Gyarados, so thanks again. Streams, you probably wouldn't have bought it. You know, that's Gyarados is, like I said, one of the only ones I don't have from that set. I think there are two. They're on my wish list. I'd like to build that Gyarados at some point. I most likely will pick it up, even if I pick it up myself, because I'm going to be in March, the last day of February and the first weekend of March. I'm going to be in Seattle for Emerald City Comic Con. First time ever I'm going to that. I'll put the link in now for the website for Emerald City. I'm going to be on two panels. I'm going to be on a Saturday evening panel and a Sunday afternoon panel. I don't believe either are going to be live streamed or filmed, but if they are, I will certainly let you know. I'm actually going to try to get the Saturday one filmed because I think it's going to be really fun. So I am, for Oni, I am co-hosting a panel where we have some comic writers and artists play Secret Hitler, and I'm running that, and they're all people that are associated with Oni Press. Very fine people, lovely people. They're bringing me out to do that. I'm going to do a little bit of other stuff for them while I'm out there, it looks like. And then on Sunday, I'm on the friendshipping panel. And that's rad. I'm so happy they asked me. I'm kind of a little bit in shock. I love Jen and Trin. They're wonderful, wonderful people. And I'm thrilled that they asked me to be on that panel. So I'm doing those panels at Emerald City Comic Con. So what's going to happen is I'm going to fly out on Wednesday and fly back Sunday night. I'm going to miss both my streams that week. It's just the way it works out. I can't figure it out. So I'm still going to put up YouTube videos. I'm going to put a video up on Thursday, and I'm going to put a video up on Saturday. And so I'm going to shoot those in February, and they will probably be one-day kits. Although I might just, if I have like a 2-day kit, I might do a long video and then cut it in half. I'm debating what I'm going to do with it. But I'll be filming something so that I have some content that goes up that week. It won't be Twitch. And then I might do an IRL Twitch stream, like off my phone, if I have decent enough internet. Because I'm going to be staying at a hotel, and so Wi-Fi or even the hardline internet isn't going to be good enough to stream. So I can't stream when I'm in Seattle. My goal for the future when I'm traveling is to do Airbnbs like I did in Philly. So that way I can stream, or at least I have the chance I can try to stream. So that's my hope anyway, but I know that this trip I'm staying at a hotel room, and I don't have control over that, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. So yeah, so that's where we're at for there. Okay, so we finished knolling. We're going to build our minifigs first, and then we will go and continue. I'm going to make sure that I put the right head on the right figure. Let's see. All right, we're going to make the angry man. We're going to put angry man. Our pilot is angry. He's very angry. I love how many minifigs I have now. It's so weird. our pilot there, and we'll give our pilot a gun, blaster, I should say. And then we've got our Imperial soldier man here, who is the red in his eyes makes me think that he is tired. He seems to be overworked. He's got his good cap on though. He's doing his thing. He also has a gun. Put it on his right hand there. All right, so I got 2 more minifigs done, and we got Nolt. So now let's get to building. I would love to go to Canada too. Bless you. I think that would be really fun. Yes. So not surprising, but it's pretty obvious that I do have some of y'all are Canadian and into what I do. I would love to go to something. I've always wanted to go to TCAF. Haven't had a good excuse to go. And I know that some of my friends have gone and done some Canadian conventions. I know that Cards Against Humanity went and did a con in Canada. They seem to have a good time there. Right now, when it comes down to it, is I do the United States PAXs, right? I'm going to do the 3 U.S. PAXs, and I'm going to figure out ways to go to all of those. And then when it comes down to everything else, anything else I do is just because people want me there. And that's kind of how I have to look at it like that. The New York stuff is pretty easy for me to go to because I'm in New York. Chicago would be cool. I would love to do Chicago as well. I'd love to go to C2E2. That would be really fun. So my hope is, my earnest and honest hope is that doing this panel, these couple panels that I'm doing, and a live show thing that I'm doing for Oni, will open the door for me to be able to do more of this kind of stuff, right? That's the hope anyway. The hope is that I can start doing my own panels when I go. So not only am I going to help out other people, but I'm going for them, but then I also get to do some of my own stuff on the side. Like I'm going for Oni's stuff, but then I have time to do one panel that's for me. And that's what I'd like to figure out ways to do that more and to do that better and smarter. So that's the hope anyway. I'm working towards that. Because I'm a good host. I'm a good host of shows. I'm a knowledgeable host. I'm a good panel moderator. I'm good at that stuff. So I'd like to have more opportunities to do that. And I think that it would be beneficial to folks that don't necessarily have the skills to do that. I'm pretty solid at it. So hopefully I'll be able to do that more. And then, yeah, I'd love to get to Canada. I love to get there. I'd love to bring League of Heels to one of the things League of Heels is going to work on is figuring out in the future, I don't know when, but we'd love to do a show that isn't PAX. We really like PAX. We have a lot of friends there. We have a lot of fun there. I'm actually hoping, so there's nothing set in stone, right? But a friend of mine just started a job pretty high up in the people that own Crunchyroll. So my hope is that with him in that position, we could talk about one of the many conventions that he's now responsible for and finding room for League of Heels there. That's what I'm throwing out. Like I said, nothing set in stone. This is all just like, this would be pretty cool. We should talk about it. That's where we're at right now. All right, I'm basically doing a lot of what I did here because it's obviously an X-Wing, so it's the same on both sides, just about. So I'm kind of recreating it on this side. So we'll do that here. I'm going to cough. Hold on. Pardon me. So yeah, I think I'm feeling pretty good about doing stuff here on my desktop. I was a little worried. I didn't want to because my laptop, I've had decent results, but my laptop has been giving me some trouble. And I did a fresh install today and it seemed fine, but if this works and I just can save my laptop for travel and have it run PowerPoint, for conventions and be my laptop when I'm traveling and getting some work done, and then just using the webcam there now and again, I mean, I'm going to do that. This audio seems good enough. I'm happy with it. That was the thing I was worried about. Um, I'm using 21% of my CPU, which I don't love, but you know, I don't expect it to get that intense. It does mean like things like I don't think on this particular laptop or desktop on my desktop, I'm not thinking that games are going to work too well streaming. I don't think I'm going to be able to run a webcam and run a game and stream it and record it locally. I'm going to experiment with it, but I'm actually a little worried about that. So I would like to do some game streams, but I don't know. Like I did say, I'm going to try to do a bonus stream this month, but that bonus stream might not be gaming. It might be something else. I have to figure that out. Maybe I can do something that's browser based. Maybe I can do like a browser based game with all y'all. That might be fun. I'll look into it. There's definitely something that we could do that would be fun. Um, yeah, but I'm gonna look into it because like if the frame rate for Jackbox stuff holds, I might just do that. I can kind of like make it full screen and then have the chat in like another on my laptop or something, and just do it like that. We might do that. I don't know. I'm gonna play around with it. No promises about when, but I'd like to do a bonus stream this month. Cookie clicker, yeah. Paper Clips is a iOS one that I know some people are playing. Or Paperclip, something like that. That was the one that I was told, you gotta check this out. And then I was like, I don't like clickers. I don't. I don't have a problem if you like them. I just don't like clickers. Not my thing. I like match 3 stuff. That's kind of where. That's my. I've got some time to kill. I opened up my phone. That's kind of my style and my speed. All right, so we're gonna try this other decal. Okay. All right, it's not perfect, but it's fine. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Decal. We did it. All right, we're gonna keep moving there. So yeah, I'm excited to go to Emerald City Comic Con. It's my first time going to that. Obviously, I've been to the convention center a bunch for PAXs, but never been to this convention. I hear very good things. I know people really like it, so I am excited to go check it out. And we'll see how it goes. But I hope it opens the door for me. It opens the door for me to be able to do other conventions, because I really like doing that. And I like hosting and presenting and doing that kind of thing. So we'll see. I'm trying to do another improvised post-mortem here in New York. I pitched one to do in February. I don't know if I'm gonna get it booked, but I did pitch it. And we'll see if that works out. That's a really fun show I enjoy doing, so I hopefully will get the opportunity to do it again. It's fun to do it at like PAX and those kind of places because my friends, like my funny friends that have that. Doing it in New York is different in a way that I also really like because it's because I'm doing it with comics. Instead of just like funny people, I'm doing it with funny people who are like trying to be professionally funny. So it's a different vibe to it. It felt very different. There's a lot more character work. Like very few people in PAX were like working on characters when they did it. So it was kind of interesting to see that difference there. All right, so we gotta attach this on here. All right, and put this over there. Great. All right, this is coming together. Look at that. Hell yeah. Cool. This is really starting to look like a TIE fighter. All right, so now we're building stuff up and off of it. Push this the right direction. And we're going to keep building up. We still have a third bag, but this is moving pretty good. Yeah, if there's anything in chat you want to hear from me about, I'm always willing to try to steer the conversation. If there's somewhere you'd like to go with it. I got retweeted today by Arthur Chu and I'm glad that it did not turn into a shitstorm. I have no issue with Arthur. I should clarify. I thought it might be a shitstorm. Uh, uh, oh, I'm retweeting this Spike Spiegel. So I wrote about how and Tanya, lovely, wonderful person Tanya, retweeted me um, that what did she say? Oh, sorry, I lost my brain there for a second. So I tweeted about um, games done quick and how I really wish that they would have renamed that incentive, the bonus incentive, to not Crazy Town. Basically, there's a new thing in a Zelda that was so new and so weird that they were referring to it just as Crazy Town, that it went to Crazy Town. Um, and as someone who has said that term quite a bit and regrets that, it was kind of painful to hear because it's some shitty language. Um, in the world of improv, Crazy Town is a nice little shorthand for when things are just building too fast and don't have any. They go to Crazy Town. You go to Crazy Town. Um, in improv, we would use that a lot, and some people still do, to just be like, "Oh, you went just completely off." And I am trying my best to not use that term anymore because it's hurtful for people who are just like chemically imbalanced, you know. So it's like not hard to stop saying it, but it felt kind of bad to be watching this stream and have like people were donating for that because it was a new incentive that it sounds cool. It still sounds cool. I'm not saying it doesn't sound like a cool incentive, but people were like, "Oh, I really want to see this crazy thing. I really want to go to Crazy Town with y'all." And I was just like, "No, I hate this. You don't have to say that. You could say other things." Uh, but yeah, so I wrote that, and it got a little traction today. It didn't get too much. Luckily, it didn't hit the people who are mad, who are like pure, quote unquote, purists, who are real upset with how social justice warrior-y it is this year for ADGQ, AGDQ, I should say. So luckily, I haven't seen any bullshit from that, which is, I'll take the bullshit where I can get it, but I'd much rather people tweeting me photos of their Spike Spiegel action figure than people tweeting me about how I should stop being a snowflake or whatever. Um, or whatever dumb bullshit people want to tweet at me. Alright, so good there. And then to these things. Haven't used this too much. This piece I haven't seen too much. Snow is fun. Snow is fun. Yes. Here's the thing about snowflakes. You get enough of them, you can build a snowman. Boom! I don't know why I said boom. That's not a joke. Uh, Although I want to develop that into maybe something even. Maybe I could say something even dumber than you can get enough of them, you can build a snowman. Here's the thing about snowflakes. They're important if you want snow. There's probably a dumber joke I can make about that. I'm gonna have to do a little thinking. Try to come up with something even stupider. What's my oldest Lego set? Most of my Lego sets are pretty modern because I've been doing a lot of Star Wars stuff, and so the oldest one I think I did was I did the 2016 movie Ghostbusters, the Ecto One, which was my first Lego kit I did on stream. So that's probably the oldest kit I've built. Most of my stuff is like within the last couple of years. It's pretty modern. I mean, as a kid, I did, like I grew up in the 80s. I was born in 1980, so I was very young in that era. The mid 80s is when I built a lot of kits. So I did a lot of pirate stuff, a lot of space stuff, that kind of thing. But I haven't looked for old kits to build. That might be kind of fun. I think I prefer the modern books, but doing an old kit would be kind of fun if if I could dig up one somewhere. If I found one in the store or something like that. I am keeping my eyes open when I go to like malls and such uh, for kits that are like marked down or on sale. When I was in South Carolina, we went to the mall and I was keen on trying to find some stuff that might be like on clearance or maybe Chinese bootlegs of stuff. That kind of thing. I kept my eyes peeled, but I didn't see anything that stood out like that. But I'm going to keep looking. I'm going to go to the Pavonia Newport Mall in New Jersey sometime this month, partially to find cheap kits, but also for another thing. I have another reason to go there. But I'm also like, what if I could find cheap model kits? I don't know. Because this is an expensive hobby slash job slash activity. As you know, when I originally started doing this, I wasn't going to have a wish list. I wasn't going to do it. But there's just a lot of kits out there that I want to build that are just kind of outside my price range. I never would have built that Millennium Falcon. I still don't know who bought that for me. There's actually the next couple sets I have for Lego. I don't know who purchased them because they didn't put their name on the wish list. So it's a mystery. This was Coyote, as I mentioned. Coyote got this as a gift and sent it to me, which is rad of Coyote to do. And I guess I could say that, if you got Lego model kits, something like that you have waiting in the wings, that you ever have a kits that you're like, I'm never going to build this. I would certainly at least talk to you about it. Send me a tweet. We'll work it out. Build it, and maybe if you want, an option I could always say, like, if you want me to build this on stream and then send it back to you, I'd mail it back completed. How about that? That's an option out there, if that's something that would appeal to you. I would not be opposed to doing that. I'm already supposedly going to send all these kits out to people when I finish them. Alright, so we're getting there. I don't know what that does. There we go. And we are almost done with bag 2. We're moving right along into bag 3. It's 2. Before we know bag 3, when we finish this, I will put the links, obviously, in YouTube. In the show description is all the links that I'll put up. But I'll put these up here on in chat. I'll put links up to all the things that you can support me on. I'll mention this now. What are the odds it'd still be put together by the time it makes its road trip? So, I know that some the model kits I've sent out, the Gundams I've sent out, have had to have a little bit of reassembly done. I do use really good air packing material that I get. I pack things really well. I pack inside the box and then put the box inside a, obviously, shipping box and then pack that as well. So there'll probably be some assembly required on those things. Lego sets are fucking pretty solid, and also don't always fit in the box. They usually just fit in the box. So if you actually pack them pretty well, you can fit quite a few things. You can fit quite a few in there, and it's a pretty tight fit. So that's an option. Who knows? Who knows if that would actually work? But I have sent out a couple kits, and they've all seemed to do pretty well on arrival. I know the Ecto 1 seemed fine. I think the Gundam needed a little assembly, and I've learned a little bit more since then, because I've only sent out a couple things. But yeah, that might be good. So first I'll say, if you're not following me here, you obviously don't have to subscribe, but I'd love a subscription. But if you're not following me, you can do that by hitting that follow button there. And then you can also set notifications so that you get an email when I start streaming. So that way you don't have to follow me on Twitter and know my schedule. Although I do try to keep the same schedule. And I believe it'll be the same up until March when I go away. The end of February, beginning of March. I think I'm going to be able to be pretty consistent with that. which I'm happy about. Happy to say. Um, but you also can follow me here. You can subscribe. If you have Amazon Prime, you should get Twitch Prime, and then use your Twitch Prime with me. Oh, this is the controller here. This is cool. Put this there. That's for our pilot. That's our joystick. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't expect, hundreds of people to jump on board with that, but oh, bless you, just subscribed. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Thank you for jumping in. Welcome to the Baer Cave. Thank you very much. Series 622 Canadian, thank you very much. I appreciate it. That's rad. I'm going to throw the Baer Cave emote. You now have the Baer Cave emote because you're here in the Baer Cave. So thank you for that. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, like, we're still small. We're still under 30 subscribers, but we're building, and it's been pretty rad trip so far. I have other ways for people to subscribe or to support. I'll mention that in a second. I'm going to finish this up. We still have bag 3 to finish things off, but we're getting close. So this part is facing out. And that goes here. And the part's face out. Great, great, great. And then we'll put our it's here. It's pretty neat. We've done a few TIE fighters. Just people have sent TIE fighters, so I've built a few TIE fighter prototypes because I got Yodas as well. But I'm not complaining because these things look pretty damn cool. My oldest set Lego system it's a robot in a box of my dad's. Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't think I had kept anything. I had a house fire in 2001 and lost a lot of my early childhood collectible stuff, which is a bummer. I don't talk about it too much, but yeah, everyone was fine. No one was hurt, but just like a lot of my childhood stuff went up in flames, literally. But yeah, no one was hurt, so I can't be too upset about it. And I was able to buy a lot of new stuff. But yeah, all my Transformers and stuff like that all went away. And it was a real bummer. Hello, SmashMouth64. How's it going? Johnny. Alright, so that's bag 2. So bag 2 is done. So I'm going to put my extras before I open bag 3 and Noel bag 3. Yeah, you changed your Switch name. I noticed that. I didn't get a chance to pop into your stream today, but I'm glad you tried it out. That's awesome. Congrats. I saw what you were working on, though, which is cool. Yes, hello, Johnny. All right, so that's bag 2. I put the remnants of bag 2 away, the extras. So we got our TIE Fighter prototype working on here. So let's jump in. I'm going to put some things you can link to. So I talked about that. As always, my Patreon. If you give $1 to my Patreon a month, you get 1 monthly Q&A. If you give $5, you get video archives early, and any other video stuff I do, you get before anyone else does. Oh, you're watching AG. Yeah, I understand. That sounds real cool. The randomizer stuff is awesome. There's my Amazon wish list, which you're more than welcome to support. And here is my Ko-Fi, which goes into a fund. Anything I get through that PayPal, I then divert to an account that's just for buying kits. And like I said, I mean, I'm probably going to buy that Epion soon. If someone doesn't buy it for me, I'm probably going to buy it. Because I love the Epion. And then I mentioned Emerald City Comic Con. EmeraldCityComicCon.com to find out more information about that. Because that's my next venture, is going to Emerald City. Like I said, I had a Saturday night panel. More details on that because the schedule is not live. So I'm going to slowly empty this bag. And then I'm going to make sure the bag is empty. As always, it is. So I can throw that aside. And then we're going to quickly Noel. Because we're on our last bag of this pretty fun kit. Yeah, like I said, I put some more stuff on there. I've got a Y-wing at the top because I Y-Wings are rule. I mean, the B-Wing is great, but a Y-Wing, I haven't built the Y-Wing yet. And I got that Epion, which is just awesome. I definitely want that. I got some real grades up there. Um, and then at the bottom, I've got some stuff to kind of augment my laptop, maybe make that easier. Uh, I've got a couple perfect grades there that I don't never expect anyone to buy from me. That's okay. Don't worry about that. But like more RAM for my laptop to kind of make it easier for when I do stuff. That would be nice. Got that Gundam Spiegel Master Grade from G Gundam. It's a very simple, easy kit. Uh, there's a Pokemon kit. I got some Zords in there because people asked about Zords. I got that Lego submarine. I'm going to probably put a few more Legos. We talked about Zords the other day. Or Zoids. I keep saying Zords. Zoids. We got some Zoids in there because we talked about it. You started a Y-Wing just now. That's awesome. Y-Wing is very cool. I would love to do a Y-Wing, so I put it in there. Um, as always, you're not under no obligation to do anything. If you're, but follow me if you can. Give me a follow. At the very least, that's actually all I really, really ask for is give me a follow. Maybe subscribe to my YouTube channel to see the archives because I put everything up there and they're saved here locally. All right, so as mentioned, I'm just knolling just by color. Pretty simple process. This is the smallest of the bags. We're going to put in our missiles. And so, yeah, so I'm just putting the colors where I need to put them. There's a little bit of blue in this kit, but it's mostly, and a little bit of white, but it's mostly black and two kinds of gray. You wanted Zoids so bad. Yeah, I definitely think I built a couple Zoids in my teen years. I think I definitely built a Liger at some point. I definitely watched two of those shows. I watched I think I watched three. I think I watched like the first two series, and then there was one that was like set in like it was the future, but everything had been like the past, and people were like rediscovering Zoids, and in the same way how like the Liger kind of had a personality, they all had personalities, and they were kind of like wild. It's a little bit like that video game, like it's like a little bit like Horizon Zero Dawn, where it's just like, oh shit, the robots are sentient. I think I watched that show. I can't really remember. It's been a while, but I think I watched that version of Zords as well. Zoids. Keep saying Zords. And that's actually maybe a good reason for me to not build a Zoid is because I keep saying Zords, and that would be confusing. I also, if people wanted to send me Zords, maybe I should put some Zords on my wish list. If I could turn anything into a kit. Uh, so, yeah, Zoids are like Zorbs. Zoids was a series. It was like robotic mechanical mechs that were all animal form, and they did battle and races depending on the series, which season of the series it was, which one you were watching. But yeah, it was fine. It was never great, but they look real cool. Evangelion kits do exist. I mean, they're not, and some of them are perfect grade. So actually, it's a little bit coming true. I hope more kits come out, but I've wanted to build some of. I mean, I really just want to build the Russian kit from Pacific Rim, the Russian robot. I want to build that one. I'm probably gonna, eventually get the one that comes out, but that's the one that I would build. The three-armed Japanese one, or Chinese one, sorry, is also fucking cool. I'd probably build all of them. Maybe not the Australian one. It's kind of lame. Yeah. Yeah, Zorbs. Zoids was pretty cool. It was like a pretty cool show. And it had that thing of like the young guy who's like not supposed to be good at it, but ends up being pretty good at it because the Zoid. Oh, Isk! Thank you so much. You just subscribed to $5 a month. This is now your 5th month in a row. We had 2 5 months in a row. That's awesome tonight. That's so great. Thank you very much. Air horns. We're going to throw the Bear Cave emote. If you're a subscriber, throw in that Bear Cave emote. Let people know. Very happy at that. It's awesome. We are now edging even closer to getting back to 30, which was 31 was the most subscribers we had. We had a rush of some people jumping in on that. It wasn't an invasion, but it was a like Kate, twitch.tv/Kate Stark, who's fantastic, and is like a real full-time streamer, gave me a shout out, and I got a bunch of some people followed me because of that, and gave me like a 1 month sub, which is very nice of them. But they didn't stick around, which is also okay. I think that's the thing that I'm trying to do. I'm actually not trying to like necessarily get people who watch other streamers, because they're certainly interested to kind of check things out. My goal is to get people that don't know that they would love watching streams to check this out. People that are interested in building, people that would like to get into building, people that just want something else from their day-to-day, their entertainment. My hope is that I could be something that they would enjoy and check out. So that's kind of what I'm aiming for. I'm not aiming to steal other people from other channels. Although that would be nice too. Alright, our bag has been knolled. We are ready for it. We're going to do it. We're going to finish this up. Got 23 minutes left. Look, I'm not going to finish this on Thursday. We're going to finish it tonight. I don't like having Lego pieces out. I like to finish them. So we're going to do it. So the nice thing about Saturday is I don't mind going long on a Saturday night. It's late. And in fact, some people are going to be joining us as we do this. I know, right up till the wire. Folks come in and check things out, which is awesome. The big problem is that as we go, I run out of things to talk about. But, so, here we go. I don't know why it happened. I don't know how it happened. But I have started to be watching many, many clips on YouTube of the first season of Initial D. I said this. I have a license. I used to own a car. I don't. It's New York. I don't need one. Public transportation is terrible, but still works. I don't have a car. I'm not into cars. I'm not into racing. I love Initial D because I cared about the characters. They had heart. There was some silliness. The music fucking rips. I even ignored the thing that I don't like, which is the cars are digital and everything else is like hand-drawn style. And so like the cars have a weird style to them that I don't necessarily love, and I actually don't think aged super well. Yeah, the 86 is a hell of a car, the Panda. But like, yeah, there's something about that show. I will say this. If you're going to make the car in a different animation style than you're going to make the rest of the show, having it, the rear view mirror, be the regular like cell animation, I think was an awesome choice if you're going to do that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't care about drifting. I don't care about racing. But I do care about people figuring themselves out on the road and like dealing with interpersonal conflict in that way. And like, I don't know. There's something pretty cool about it that I was always into that show for that. I like that they didn't wait too long to have like a really cool female driver. That show pretty early on was like, check out this team of ladies, they're badass, and they were very badass. I really liked that. I thought it's just like a cool show. So I don't know quite why I started watching clips on YouTube, but I've been watching a lot of them. And when this is over tonight, I'll check in for see where we're going on with Games Done Quick. And if it's not something I care about, I'm probably just gonna watch more of them. I'll just watch more clips on YouTube. Might go back and actually watch full episodes too. I don't know. Maybe I will. You can't stop me. No, you're trying to stop me. Oh, sorry. So Smash Mouth 64. Yes, Sir Johnny. I'm talking about Initial D. It is a driving series that came out in the early 2000s. I want to say. Maybe 99, but I think early 2000s. It is a show about racing and follows a character who does not know that he has been bred by his father to be an excellent racer, that he's been trained his whole life. He's a tofu delivery guy and doesn't know that through mountain passes, he has become a savant when it comes to racing. His father, who was the best drifter in the world and one of the best racers in the world, has taught him to drive, and he has no idea that he's being taught to be amazing. And then we follow his adventures of him like racing other people in Japan, street racing. Um, and it's very cool, and the music fucking rips. The music is so good, so awesome. Uh, it's a real good show. So it's the Food Wars of racing, if but there's like a couple like perv dudes, but it's not pervy at all. There's like basically the main dude likes a girl, and then he finds out that she's got like a sugar daddy, and he's like, oh okay, well I don't know. And then there's like a guy that has a crush on a girl and is trying to figure that out, and there's like that's it. There's like it's pretty pure when it comes to that kind of stuff. There's no real um, there's no yeah. It's not Food Wars in that way. Uh, Running in the '90s, that is real good. Night Fever is real good. There's a bunch of incredibly good, very very good weird songs in that show. All right, we got to apply a sticker, a decal, I should say. Um, this one. Oh, and then we're gonna do this whole over again. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, okay. So let's see if I can put this decal on. Nope. Fucked it up. Gonna keep going. Everything about the perviness of Food Wars, that even though the animation is super horny, the characters are pure as people. Yeah. I mean, there's like, there's a character who is just wearing like short shorts and a bikini top and talking about being obsessed with meat. And there's at no point that people are like, hey, that's inappropriate. Everyone's just like, yeah, you love meat. We get it. You're really into meat. Cool. Like, she's very much sexualized, but not by the characters, just by the artists. And I don't think I'm explaining it right, but it's interesting how it's an interesting choice, I should say. Um, that she's outwardly sexualized, but not by the characters. There's no wolf whistles for that character, and how fucking horny that show is. You know, I haven't finished this third season that just finished up. Didn't finish it. Didn't really like it. I will eventually watch it, but the first season of Food Wars I really liked. Second season, there's parts that I like and parts that I don't. But yeah, most people are there just for the love of cooking, and even though they're like staying in dorms, the show does not appear to be horny. It's just horny for food, really. Uh, duh, 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 duh. All right, so we're building. We're basically gonna build this again. We're gonna so where we left off. Finish this up. We're just doing exactly what we did. Like I said, we might go over a little bit. I just don't want to do this one on Thursday. I'm gonna finish this tonight. So if this is a 2-hour build, it's a 2-hour build, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. But yeah, we're gonna hang out and we're gonna finish things up. When it's a Saturday, I can go a little longer. When it's a Thursday, I gotta end on time because I have places to go on Thursday, and I have to get the episode uploaded before I leave. So I cut it a little close on Thursday because I want to do it. I don't want to do it earlier than 8 p.m. Um, uh, Xenoblade, yeah, Xenoblade. It might be its own category of like, come on, y'all, what are you doing? Um, but yeah, it is what you look like and who you are. Is it like? Because also, in the first season, there's like a guy who's like, he's out there to. His thing is that he makes your dish better than you and breaks your confidence. That's like his deal. There's a character, And that man looks 40. That man looks way older than everyone else on that show. And I'm like, hey, what's up? What's the age to get into this school? What is this? That seems like a very old man compared to the other students. I'm gonna cough again. Apologize. Yeah, I haven't looked at too much of Xeno, but I do know that it is pretty horny. I don't really have a problem with it. Now I have songs from Initial D stuck in my head. But yeah, I'm going to try to keep up with all the new anime that's coming out. Like I said, I might be done after this next episode with Miss Kazumi loves ramen noodles or ramen, because I just don't need to watch a show where one of the characters is just nasty to another character for no reason. I think it's worn down. I just like there's too much good anime out there for me to deal with that stuff. And I haven't watched the first episode of the new Cardcaptor. Cardcaptor Sakura is back. I have not watched that yet, but I'm interested in seeing how it goes. Alright, so we did that, and now we're going to attach these here to our experimental tie. So this goes into that, and then this goes into that. Locks on there. So we're putting that like this. And I'm going to try to be careful with it. Alright, great. We did it. Alright, those locked in. Decals are there. Alright, so now we're just doing the final touches. We've got some pieces left here, but we're doing 4 of these things. Okay. So we're making 4 of these, so I'm going to do them all at once. If we're making 4 and they're all identical, I'm just going to do them all at once. I think that's the way to go. Your wife's been watching new Cardcaptor? Yeah, I'm interested. I wasn't. I don't think I watched all of the first one, but it was one of those things where like I watched it when it was on, and then I watched some of the subtitles. It's a show that I definitely watched a lot of dubs of because it was anime and it was on TV. And y'all young people out there, those of you that are not my age, so therefore young, might not remember a time where there wasn't anime on TV, and then there was anime on TV. So even though Samurai Pizza Cats is actually fucking stupid, and I don't think it's a good show, I watched a lot of Samurai Pizza Cats because it was an anime on TV. So you watched whatever came out because it was on. So I definitely watched some stuff that, like Hamtaro is cute and fun, and actually now it would be right up my alley. Like people were like, "Oh, they rebooted Hamtaro." I'd be like, "Yeah," but at the time I wasn't really into that show, but it was anime, so I was gonna watch it. And you didn't care about your fan subs being bad. So let me tell you this: I watched anime when DVDs were suddenly be able to be burnable. People would use like Alta Vista and translate animes like very quickly and put out DVDs very cheaply, and so you would buy them, and you'd have like poor, very very poor translations that you just had to deal with because it was the only way you were going to be able to watch the show you wanted to watch. So like, was it Yugi means game or duel? I can't remember. Yugi means something in Japanese, and that would get translated instead of Yugi's name. It'd be like, "Come on, duel, we gotta go," or "Come on, game, we gotta go," and it was, it was real bad. And then you had stuff like Trigun and Cowboy Bebop that like was fantastic and amazing, and like, then it was like, here's a weird cop show that's like not great, and you're like, okay, I guess I'm gonna watch this. I don't know. There was plenty of good, and there was plenty of bad. All right, so we're flipping these over. But you watched all of it because you were like, Well, if I don't watch it, we might not get more, because that was actually an honest to god fear, was they were going to stop translating and dubbing stuff uh, if people didn't watch it. Uh, so I watched a lot of anime that I don't think was very good, just because I wanted to more of it to exist. Watching DBZ every day after school. Those are some good, yeah. Uh, I got the DVDs of Cowboy Bebop, and then I remember making VHS copies by playing the DVD and then recording on VHS to send to my friend because she didn't have a DVD player. So I would like make a tape with a couple episodes for her, and I would do subtitles because I wanted her to really experience it. Although I will say this, the dub for Cowboy Bebop is good. I'm not I'm not going to get into this dubs versus subs fight here. I prefer subtitled myself, but I think the Cowboy Bebop dub is excellent. It's like really quality voice actors that seem to care about the project. And so, big props to that. Respect that. I mean, I'll say this. It was very weird watching this season of Pokemon subtitled because I've never seen Pokemon subtitled. I've only watched it dubbed. Um, Especially when it moved to Cartoon Network and my friend Sarah became the voice of Ash. It's weird and great to listen to her. But this season I watched it subtitled and it was really weird. Um, yeah, I mean it depends on where you're from. Obviously, here in the U.S., we definitely got a lot of anime. Cartoon Network, Toonami, became a thing, and then other channels. Fox had Shaman King and a few other things. There was that weird thing with the doll. What anime was that with the dolls? You know what I'm talking about. It was like Zach Bell, that show. Like there were a bunch of stuff, or Zatch Bell. There was a bunch of shows that like I remember just being like, oh man, there's a lot of anime now. Not all of it's good. I do have a soft spot for Shaman King. I think it was like a cool idea for a show. I don't think it went anywhere. It also did the thing that I like in anime, shown in anime, which is when the bad guys aren't really bad guys. They're just good guys that don't know the main good guy yet. Like I like that, and that show had Shaman King had a lot of that, where it was like, I'm going to defeat you. Oh, you beat me? Well, I'm going to hang out until I figure out how to beat you. Really, we're just friends, though. I just have pride, so I can't say that I just think you're a cool dude. Uh, so Dragon Ball Super is your first, Johnny, is your first time watching it subtitled. That's awesome. Um, See, the thing is for me is that, like, Zatch Bell, yeah. I, the first Dragon Ball came out, and it was like the first chapter of Dragon Ball came out, and then eventually, like syndicated, I started watching Dragon Ball Z. Um, but I really liked Dragon Ball, so I went back and found fan subs of all of Dragon Ball and watched all of it over a long period of time because I really liked I thought the show, while I did like the action adventure, I missed the like weird comic stuff of the subtitle. So I'm totally used to how Goku sounds at this point because I watched so much uh, of Dragon Ball that when I then and then like there's like a 4-part saga. There's filler in Japan that they skipped in the U.S. the first time around. I think it's like the Heavens arc. Uh, I watched that subtitled, and then I tried to keep just watching it subtitled, because I found that I didn't mind it, and so why not? You get the whole episode that way. Oh yeah, I mean like there's differences, and it is weird when you're used to it one way and then it's presented to you another way. I understand how that can be very strange. Trying to think of a show that I watched mostly dubbed, and then Pokemon. Like I said, Pokemon is this very strange example. Um, to watch that. And then even so Yu-Gi-Oh I watched dubbed first, and then went back and watched because there's a whole season that they skipped in the U.S. and then eventually they aired. But season zero, which is because for those that only like know Yu-Gi-Oh as like the card battling game, the anime doesn't start as a card battling game. It's in the first season, but there's a bunch of different games, and it's more like new games every time and new bets, and then they made like the card game within it, Duel Monsters, the game within the anime, became actually really popular, and so the anime became the manga, I should say, first, and then the anime. The manga became about the card battling game. So when the anime came out, they did the first episode, the first season, and then when it came to the U.S., they just skipped to that second season. Um, and so I had to go back because I read the manga of the first one and thought the manga was awesome. So I wanted to go back and watch. Sorry, here. I'm missing some stuff. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to go back and watch the original anime first season, which is like really dark. Yeah, I can't imagine that the how many translations you're having, um, and making sense of all that. A show that gets popular in the U.S. and then is being exported out of the U.S. to other places. Like, there's definitely a lost in translation element to that instead of just uh, one thing I'm pretty psyched about. Like one of the benefits of Crunchyroll, besides the fact that people fucking get paid, and I'm all in for people to get paid, is that like they're doing simulcast and translating to a bunch of different regions. And as long as translation for the translators for that region are doing a good job, they're all working off the original Japanese script and translating it into their own language instead of it going along the chain. Like I know that the a friend of mine watched Ranma one half in Chinese in Mandarin, um, because that was how the show was available to her growing up, and that translation was apparently very poor. So she got a raw deal when it came to that show, and then eventually started watching the English language translation, and liked that way better apparently. All right, so we're gonna put our we're putting our wings here on. All right, TIE fighter. So putting our wings on here. Yeah, I mean, like, so I will say this: at a certain point, college kids and stuff like that started getting their fan subs online. I, at one point in my life, was paying somebody to send me CDRs, CDs that they burned with episodes on them that I would play in, media player, with or DivX player. I did that for a while because I didn't have good internet, so I couldn't download stuff anymore on IRC channels. And I had a friend of a friend who was at college and stayed there in the summer, and that's how I got to see a bunch of stuff. Um, like, and then yeah, like the torrents and all that stuff. Like, yeah, I don't. Occasionally, I'll say this. Yeah, DivX, right? Um, the one thing I'll say is we're getting close to wrapping up here, but I'm gonna finish this up. I uh, I still will torrent, like the OAVs, the OVAs, the DVD bonuses that aren't going to be available because occasionally they do come out in a weird way. But like, there's an episode, like the bonus episode, that's in between the two seasons of New Game. That episode is just on DVDs in Japan, and someone fan subbed it, so I watched that. There's the Valentine's OVA of um, what's it called? Miss Kobayashi's Dragon made, and I watched that, and that's kind of the only time I'm doing that. And I don't love doing that, but if it means I get to see a show, I might check it out that way. It might be the way I do it. Um, Obviously, I'm not gonna watch subs instead of watching a show, or fan subs instead of watching a show. All right, so these oh yeah, VLC, yeah. Yeah, there was something about having a DivX player and codecs and trying to make sure you had, like, sometimes you'd be like, why doesn't this play right? Because you hadn't downloaded the right codec, you hadn't updated your codec stuff and all that. Uh, yeah, I don't miss those days. All right, so this is it. Uh, this was a nice little one-day build here. We're gonna put our extra pieces in the bag. That'll go into our box. This has missiles it can shoot. As always, we're gonna put our pilot in the cockpit. Let's put that in there. Put our pilot's head. A helmet fell off, so we'll figure that out. Whatever, I don't care about that. What am I doing? So yeah, so that's it. That's our TIE Fighter. I'll pop these closed. I'll show you what the wings look like. There's a TIE Fighter prototype, advanced prototype, and it goes like that. And it stands up, which is pretty great. Overall, this is a pretty solid kit. And that's about it. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. I will be back on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time with another build. I'm going to do a poll. My $10 Patreon supporters will be able to vote in that poll if I'm going to do what I'm going to do next. I'm going to put some stuff up on Monday for that. Thank you very much. Thanks for chatting with me. Thank you for subscribing. Those of you subscribed, those of you renewed, I really appreciate it. The archive will be up on YouTube tomorrow if you're watching live. If you're watching on YouTube, hello, YouTube watchers. Thank you very much, and have a great rest of your weekend. And, oh, man, I had so much DivX stuff. Just got to jump in there. So much on DivX. But that's it. I'm going to give this a shout-out because I might stop streaming before it pops up on my overlay that Velkoff is now following me on Twitch. I got the email. Velkoff, there you are. I wanted to wait for that. Thank you, and have a great rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.